What is going on YouTube? Free Tendies Fantasy. We are going to rip a couple of the $3 full PPR DraftKings. I noticed that DraftKings is way more reactive to news than Underdog is. So I am curious where we see Washington go. I'm going to guess as high as the top 50. What is going on, Ted? How are you, man? What are you up to? How are you feeling about the recent news?
Well, I mean, we don't have any confirmed information yet, other than we know that Genty could not put pressure on the leg.
Yeah.
We know that the team literally killed their practice music and everyone got down on a knee and started doing a group prayer.
Yep.
Um, I would assume we are getting a report that Ashton Genty is out for the season on Monday, is kind of where I'm at with it. Like in these rooms, how late would it have to get for you to tack on some Ashton Genty?
I just
Or
wouldn't
is
take
he,
him.
you just wouldn't do it?
No.
Not even like 15th round, you get down here, Genty's still sitting there. That's not worth the bet.
I mean, well, yeah, like I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be anything reasonable. I would guess he's gonna go in the first 3 rounds. So,
Well,
yep.
the issue with the Mike Washington thing, right? Because Hayden says he has him at the 4-5 turn now.
Okay.
Hayden says I would draft Mike Washington right around where I'd draft Quinshon Judkins. And in redraft, I think that Mike Washington has a place. That's fine. Maybe I wouldn't say 4-5 turn, but I think he's very draftable.
Yeah.
But in contests like these, like when you rip Mike Washington in the first 50 picks, you are competing against rosters that have been drafting all summer with a Mike Washington add-on
Yep.
in the 18th, 19th round. So I feel like at that point, the ship has already sailed, right? And you shouldn't be drafting him in here just because he got injured or just because Genty got injured. It just feels like there is no edge with that pick.
Yeah. I mean, there's two schools of thought on that. I don't really necessarily fall one way or the other because I'm not a best ball expert by any means, right? I'm still finding my footing in best ball. What some people would say is when a player runs up the board, you should chase them because no matter how much they run up, if they pay off at ADP value, it was a good pick. So you should just chase guys up the board when they run because, you know, you can still get your value back where you pick them. Other guys will do exactly what you just did, which is if the run happens and you missed it, you let the player go. Like what Rudy always says, right? When like a sealed product is off and running, just let it go, get on the next train, right? Don't try to get on the one that already is leaving the station. I don't necessarily have an opinion on that either way. For me, the bigger thing about Washington is he's going to be drafted as if he's going to see a 65 to 70% touch share in the backfield, which he might. He might. He had a dubious college production profile. He was not a slam dunk pick. The reason that like a super athlete like that who's compared athletically to like an Adrian Peterson even, the reason someone like that went as late as he went is because he was not a consistent producer in college. And I know he's had a couple of great plays. He looks like he's in a scheme that fits him really well. We trust Kubiak's like run scheme with our lives, right? He's produced RB1 after RB1 season. I just, you know, I don't. I'm gonna just leave it alone. Basically, in any draft, even I think that's a great landing spot for a Tyrone Tracy Jr. Does Sean Tucker get a call to go there? Trey Benson or James Conner. It feels like there are a pretty good number of running backs who could get picked up off depth pieces from other teams. So much so that I'm very comfortable just letting that play out.
Yeah, and we got a couple weeks here, or I guess
Yeah,
it's really only a week until
not long. Two
FTF
weeks.
leagues start drafting.
Yeah,
But we should see we're going to see a transaction. I think,
I
and
believe
I
so.
guess it would be a trade versus the waivers because the waivers are not great right now. Like probably your best available if you're the Raiders and you want to sign someone off the street is Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt is probably the best. I mean, they could check in on Joe Mixon, see if Joe Mixon's healthy. Um, but like Joe Mixon retired for medical reasons. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're getting there. Okay, that's cool. I don't even know
It
what.
does also kind of Genty being out too sucks for the RB draft strategy that
Yep.
we so desire because it's just one less name you could pick now, right? Like we kind of said that the drop off can happen at 5. Now it could happen at 6.
Oh well, it's not even. No, not even at 6. Like it was. It was. If the draft is not forgiving to you with the way things currently, so I was thinking about this is what I really wanted to talk about today. Actually, so that's exactly what, like the economics, right? If you think about the economics of the market dynamics of running back this year, right? Because market dynamics are ultimately like, yes, there's supply and demand, but psychology is what drives markets, right? It's when everyone starts piling into one area, it creates a lot of pressure and price flies up. Well, that's already happened all summer. And what happens now when you get rid of 8.5% of the RB1 market, which is what just happened, right? So the RB1 market, the top 12 running backs in the first two rounds. Yes, I know like a Jeremiah Love or a Brees Hall, or for me, it's a Josh Jacobs, even though that's becoming like an alien take. I still believe Josh Jacobs is the RB13 before this injury. So now he's my RB12. What happens when like these guys, and by the way, there's injury concerns and usage concerns with Jacob, there's injury concerns with Hall, injury concerns with Love, there's I guess some degree of a usage conversation with Kyron depending on where you fall on that. Javonte Williams, to me, I don't, it's weird, it's so weird because on the surface there's none of that, but he feels dead zone-ish to me for whatever reason. My subjective, non-evidence based opinion, he feels like a dead zone pick to me that I'm not comfortable making. But something happened now, right? So that's pretty big. 8.5% of the market just evaporated. So, I mean, what are you looking at when you pick from the six, right? So you figure Christian McCaffrey's going top 5 or 6 now. I think he will be. I guess it's hard to say, but if Christian McCaffrey's there, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 backs now. 9 backs because Ashton Genty's gone. That is not a whole lot. That is pick 15. Like if they really run off the board in the right way, you might be out of running backs by pick 15 if you're an RB starter. I don't know. That feels like a pretty big shift in several things. One of the other big things it feels like a big shift in is the value of an RB start just went up. Like to me, it's now more valuable to start running back than it was a day ago because there's one less team that's able to do that. So I don't know. I mean, I know you were kind of already on board with it, but I cannot imagine being a Justin Jefferson or a CD Lamb drafter with the current shape of the market right now.
Well, who knows? Maybe I kind of have Justin Jefferson immediately after that run of running backs, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe if I'm get stuck with a 6 or 7 pick, I'll pull up James Cook there, as long as you're not drafting in front of me and also taking James Cook.
yeah.
And I might end up with a James Cook, Justin Jefferson start potentially.
Oh,
That's something that could
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I don't even think for me that's just what I'm doing. It's the only question. So for me, from the 6 on, it's James Cook or Jonathan Taylor probably, and then I'll pull Saquon up there too if those two go early. But that still leaves a question. So at the 5, I think you probably just take JSN and accept the wide receiver start. Do something like this, pull a Kyron, pull a Love, pull a Jacobs, pull a Hall down there, and that's fine. You're gonna have 2 Titan receivers that you're really happy with. It's more interesting, like, what do you do with Amon Ra? What if Amon Ra gets down to like the 10th pick? That feels like such a good value. You sort of have to take it. It's just little shifts like that are more what I'm thinking about. Or what if JSN?
I quietly moved Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor both over Amon Ra in
Yeah,
my rankings. So like
yeah,
I have Amon Ra next to CD, which is I significantly prefer Amon Ra to CD, but just with the way I'm drafting, like I would rather take the shot on McCaffrey or Taylor over Amon Ra just because of the value I place on running back. Yeah, it's going to be. I think that all of a sudden now those round 4 running backs are way more important. If you miss that boat, right? Like you need to be on pulling up Swift, for example. In the 4th round, I've still seen him like not appropriately move, in my estimation. There,
yeah.
like I think that mid 4th round, DeAndre Swift is a jam now. The Jacobs of the world, the ETNs of the world, the Montgomerys of the world, I think are also more important. And then I think that in redraft, Mike Washington, I would kind of take him around like where Jonathan Brooks is going now. So it's like that 6, 7
Yep, 7th round for me.
turn.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, so what I figure a receiving back complements Mike Washington a little bit more. Like to me, Tyron Tracy, he has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Like if you're the Raiders and you're really concerned with the production on the team, you go get someone like that. I don't know how they're balancing though. The other conversation that we should have that's interesting is what it does to Brock Bowers' value, if anything. I'm seeing some people say Brock Bowers needs to be a first-round pick now, right? Frank Amirati is all over Twitter, Amiranti, all over Twitter saying like he's now jamming Bowers at like the 10, 11.
Yeah, yeah. Frank's a dope. That's too much. That's
Like,
too much.
but so like to me, right? I I already had systemic concerns with Brock Bowers, like because of the environment he's in. I think teams can double cover him or just take their corner. Like I think the Broncos are just going to take Pat Surtain and put them on Brock Bowers as things currently stand. Why wouldn't you? Let your other corners deal with the outside. Like if you're deciding between Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, or Brock Bowers for Pat Surtain to cover, I would go ahead and put Pat Surtain on Brock Bowers, right? And then you
It's
can
kind of disrespecting Jalen Naylor a little bit.
a little bit, man, Jack Besh, right? So you look at that and you say like that was a big concern of mine actually because if there's only a tight end, you kind of can scheme him out of things, dude. And if they start putting him out like a wide receiver, everything that makes him special as a tight end goes away. Because the reason that tight ends, like the reason Brock Bowers is what he is because he's fighting off like hulking safeties and linebackers when he's running his routes, right? So he breaks one off and gets 15 yards of separation. We saw that his rookie year, right? So I had like concerns about that already. Well, then you take away Ashton Genty, who seriously affects the play action calculus when you are now playing the Raiders. Ashton Genty has gravity in the offense, especially off play action, which is especially beneficial to Bowers. So now Ashton Genty's out. So now teams are really, what are you worried about with the Raiders outside of Brock Bowers? So to me, it's and now, and I was already lower on Brock. To be fair, I have a bias against that pick where he's going anyway. So like, maybe my opinion's less valid because it was already one that felt icky to me. And then lastly, so to me, those are major factors, dude, that are big. Do the Raiders want to put Fernando Mendoza out there with no one to take a beating? I would be more inclined to wait now than I was yesterday if Ashton Genty's out for the year, right? And what if it breaks his confidence? What if teams aren't respecting the run game at all? So they're just sitting there in like tight cover two press, man, just constricting the whole offense. So it's like this dink and dunk mess, right? And then lastly, Brock Bowers still played through a PCL that he injured, came back, got banged up again, and had to leave again. We've seen what PCLs have done lately, so there's also like an injury concern. I don't know, man. To me, that is just something I'm not doing in the second round anymore. I'm curious what you think of all of that because I know you're a huge Bowers fan, and most people are, and I'm the weird one on that. But I don't like it, dude. I do not like I don't like the way the risk calculus around him sits as things currently sit.
I am still happy to fire off a mid to late second rounder on
Okay.
Brock Bowers. Like I prefer Brock Bowers to Drake London. I prefer him to Nico Collins still, and I prefer him to like the Pickens Rice
Neighbors.
neighbors cluster. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm taking him, and I've been taking him more in these Yahoo mocks that I have been doing. Reason being because I've been mocking from like the 4 or 5 and trying to give myself the worst spot that I would be the least happy with,
Mm-hmm.
where you go wide receiver, and then usually the running back run already happens, right? And I've been taking Bowers sometimes there even before AJ Brown, just because I'm like, well, now when I get falling wide receiver value in the 5th or 6th round, that's absurd, and those guys shouldn't be there. I'll have an extra wide receiver I feel good taking. Because if you start wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver,
Yeah.
then you have
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Mecca Buka fall to the end of the 4th. You feel
Right.
like an idiot
Right.
drafting a 4th wide receiver. It's
Right.
just going to be on your bench.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's kind of what I've been doing. I think that player is so physically talented, and
Right.
Kubiak coming in should be good for him. So I'm still in, but yeah, no, the entire Raiders offensive ecosystem is damaged. I was looking for a second team with more longevity because I got booted out of the Panthers after 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'll probably be here for a while, is my guess.
Yeah, there's a few people in here watching. For those that don't know, we do what we call like a pet project, a second team, a second string fandom. We both every year, well, you do it whenever you need to. You pick a second string team to root for as hard as you root for your home team, except for when they play each other or their interests converge. Obviously, you don't give up your home team in the NFL. It's not how it works. It's a very fun thing to do. You pick a trash team that hasn't made the playoffs in a few years. You root for them until they're good. I started doing this years ago with the Bengals before they got Joe Burrow. Had to let them go. Switched over to the Lions after that before they got Dan Campbell. Had to let them go. I am currently a New York Giants second string fan. So rooting for the Giants, hoping they go somewhere. It's been really fun actually with like Scadaboo and Neighbors, and I drafted those guys both heavily as rookies, so it was like really fun to cheer for them. Ted he was on the Panthers for a while. Panthers made the playoffs last year. That's the rule. You have to dip out. He is currently a Raiders second string fan.
Yep, they've been so snake bitten. I was like, well, I think I got at least 5 years here,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think you do have at least five, dude. But so yeah, dude. To me there is serious systemic risk with the Brock Bowers pick. I then that Frank Amirani guy is so arrogant, dude. That guy is such a prick on Twitter, just talking down to people. And I get it. He's ranked on Fantasy Pros. He writes for Roto Baller. He writes for some big sites, right? He's made a name for himself in a very saturated industry. Like he's good at what he does to a degree. But that guy talks to you like you're a moron. Like you just cannot see the nuances of fantasy football like his brilliant mind can. And I don't know. That's an easy guy to root against, in my opinion. Certainly, don't hope anything happens to Bowers, like health wise or anything. But just
Speaking of parasocial relationships with online people, should we
oh
discuss the Flock League? What the Flock League has done to Zach?
oh oh god. Oh man, dude. So here's a quick digression about that. I don't watch like reality TV or anything. Like whenever I'm at my parents' house, my mom has like the Housewives or whatever, or they do that sort of stuff. Like we grew up in the era of reality TV. I never watched Jersey Shore. None of it.
Oh,
I
Jersey Shore was great, dude.
I know.
Jersey Shore was awesome.
Well, so my only thing I watched was The Ultimate Fighter because it was a really good reality show because they fought each other. So like there would be drama on the show, but then they'd lock them in a cage and they'd fight. So you got resolution to the drama, right? I hate that I have been sucked into the fantasy flock league as like like it feels like reality TV to me, and I care about what's going on in that. Like, it's really an embarrassing thing, especially like at my age. But dude, I'm so locked into that. I was so upset. So you can go ahead if you want to go ahead and preview what happened. I think it's an atrocity, and I think lawyers should be involved. I would be calling a lawyer if I were in that league and it happened.
Yeah, so basically, to anyone watching that doesn't know what happened, because this is kind of breaking news, right? So the Flock League had already drafted, like earlier this week. They just released their video for it, and obviously everyone here should know that after a draft concludes, especially on Yahoo, your waivers are open, right? So they're already making trades in there and doing all that stuff. And one of the players, Zach, what he did is he drafted Zach Charbonnet, moved him to his IR spot so he could get a free waiver wire pickup. And his free waiver wire pickup the day of the draft was Mike Washington. So Mike Washington was already rostered and on his team, and obviously the news breaks today. And then there was pushback from that league saying, "Oh, we didn't know waivers opened up. We didn't know waivers opened up, so we have to reverse the decision." So the commissioner went in and manually dropped Mike Washington from Zach's team. I can promise you, if you play in our leagues, we're not gonna do that type of stuff. I think that's, especially since they're playing for $100,000, like real money is on the line. That's very bush league. When you sign up for fantasy, you need to be prepared. You need to know the rules, and when you're making moves like that, where you're put like that's why you draft a guy who's injured already, like Zach Charbonnet. That's a move that I would suggest people do, because you get a free waiver wire claim if you do that,
Yep.
right? So I just thought it was embarrassing. It was a stain on that league,
Yeah. Dude, and by the
for
way,
sure.
it's not $100,000. It's $200,000. It's 5,000 a week for your scoring and $100,000 to first place. Like, and someone comes in and understands the rules and plays the rules properly, and you reverse the decision at the last minute on him. That is absolutely atrocious. I would never do that to people who trusted me with their. Now they didn't buy in, so maybe there's like a little bit of a nuance there. I would never do that to someone, dude.
Well, dude,
Never.
not only that, but they're totally okay with trading, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if you do a 2-for-1 player trade? Like, is the expectation that you're not supposed to go to the waivers and pick up a player, because that's what you should do.
No.
Ryan plus numbers. This is a DraftKings draft. No
DraftKings,
underdog.
full PPR, 20 rounds, underdog. I believe underdog actually opened a $1 Dalmatian again. Diggs, Jaden. I'm a little behind on Jaden. I'm getting kind of excited about him. I love Laporta and the value here, but we have Mark Andrews we can stack with Lamar. So we'll go Jaden Reed. I do like the noises they're making about his usage are kind of exciting. So this is our start. For those that didn't see, James Cook, Chase Brown, Devonta Smith, Igbuka, Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, RJ Harvey, Jaden Reed. Very happy with that so far. If Purdy comes back around to us, that would be lit. But we can do a Jordan Love here. We can maybe go golden into Love would be kind of fun. We'll see what comes around to us.
What other injury news did we have today? Mike Evans left practice.
Yep, Mike Evans. They said he took off his shoulder pads in frustration. To me, he's probably going to now be a fixture at the 5-6 turn. I'm going to treat it like that's going to be the nature of rostering Mike Evans in 2026. He is going to be nerve wracking. There's going to be ups and downs. I'm hoping he plays at least 10 to 12 games, and I think you'll still get your money's worth. If you get 10 to 12 games of top 15 wide receiver production from the fifth round, and you have to stream 3 to 5 weeks in between that, or up to 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks maybe, I think that's fine. So I'm going to keep drafting him until something catastrophic happens, just because I do think he's going to be that good when he's out there. If they really say, like, if we hear hamstring strain or something like that, like right now they're saying soreness, tightness, they're resting him. If we get like a tangible injury before, maybe I will reevaluate my position. But to me, it seems like they're more maintaining him and being over the top cautious with him for now. There goes Mike
Yeah,
Washington, by the way, at 80.
I think they're putting him in bubble wrap.
Yeah, yep, that's
Is
what it
my
feels
take
like to
on
me.
it.
I'm going to keep buying the uncertainty on that. I know it's not a great feeling, especially again with a player his age with soft tissue injuries. It's kind of the last thing you want to see, but I'm not letting it scare me off.
CMC was back in practice today.
Yeah, it looked fine. He said it was a planned maintenance 2 week break for him. I don't know. I don't know
I
about
think the
that.
planned maintenance was him asking for more money.
You think?
That's a really interesting theory. Like, I mean, you know, it was Florio that broke that story, and a lot of times Florio kind of says garbage that doesn't really matter, right? And it wasn't reported as fact. It was like just kind of Florio's thoughts on the matter and opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But it would make sense. It would make sense with Bosa too, right? Because they're both running out of guaranteed money after the end of this year. Like with the type of players that they are, like do they really need the training camp as much as the young guys? Like I don't think it negatively affects the team if they sit there asking for more money. And if I'm
No,
the Niners, I would give Christian whatever he wants, honestly.
you would extend him at like the new,
Yes.
because so the new top of market's 25 million a year. So if he wanted 3 years, 75 million, you would pay him that.
Yep. They have the most cap space in the
Uh,
league. Like you didn't go get Vita Vea. Like
yeah.
Christian McCaffrey is the engine of the offense, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, whether I like it or not is separate from, to me, I was actually going to write for 49ers Hub when that was up in the air. I had an article queued up about why they should trade Bosa and let McCaffrey walk after this year. I would not do that. I think the way that you look at it is you got Christian McCaffrey's prime. You didn't do enough with it, but I would not chase what little I think is left in the tank on that player. Especially not at 25 million a year. 25 million a year, you can go get a top tier offensive tackle and a top tier guard. Like you can go get the best D
They
tackle
can
in the
already
sport.
they have enough cap space. They can already go get
Yeah,
those players.
I just
You
I
know,
I
like I
yeah,
view it as you're reinvesting the Brandon Ayuk money. You don't have to pay him anymore.
yeah. That's a tough sell for me personally. Okay. Casey Concepcion has been a big jam of mine lately. I am behind on him in price. I keep trying to catch up here. We have the Brock Purdy stack with Mike Evans, which I still believe is the move, again, until proven otherwise. A little bit risky. Casey might go here by the end. We can do a George Kittle with Brock Purdy if Casey Concepcion goes. Maybe we should just do that anyway.
Kittle
Um,
did come off the pup today. That is encouraging news. How
yeah,
long that lasts and how effective he will be, still
yeah.
TBD. But it
Uh,
is a positive sign.
yeah, I'm pretty nervous about Kittle in general. Okay, we will let fate decide. I think KCC goes here because he's been getting a lot of ink lately, deservedly so. But also, we still have Deshaun Watson throwing balls like 3 feet in the air and skipping them in the ground. Did you see that pass? Um, you know, so.
Well, I saw the pass where he got hit on his arm, and it was like a goofy
Oh,
like pop up duck.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you got Purdy sniped.
Oh, why? Uncorrelated Purdy? Why? Well, maybe not uncorrelated. I didn't see his roster, but why, dude?
Well, dude,
Okay.
you could just take it uncorrelated Holmes here coming back.
Uh, I told you, I'm pretty aggressively off Mahomes this year. What stacks do I have? I mean, I could do Jordan Love and I like to have a second decent quarterback. When you invest in the elite quarterback, I like to have another one just to maintain the positional advantage. The buys don't line up. Yeah, we'll do a Jordan Love. We'll do a Jordan Love here. Could also go Baker, but I take so much Baker. I want to chill it, but he's much easier to backstack than Love. Love, you kind of don't really have any backstacks, but it's okay.
Jared Goff is available too, if you like him better than Jordan Love.
Oh, I like him so much better, but we're stacked up. We'll do Love and Reed. Yeah, we'll do that. I do really like Love so much better though. All
You mean
right,
Goff?
guy Goff. I like Goff so much better.
The 14 games in a dome, or however many they have this year, is a pretty big selling point, given Jared Goff splits at home in a dome versus on the road.
Yep, yep. I think Goff has the best year of his career this year. That secondary is decimated. Their defense is fucking garbage in general. He has the best receiving core he's ever had, especially considering one I like. I know he's been getting just slandered lately, right? Isaac Tesla, but I like Isaac Tesla. If he takes a second year leap, I think that's a great third receiver. But they also have Greg Dortch there, who's been doing well. Again, those are depth pieces, but I think they're quality depth. It sounds like JMO Williams is taken really well to the X role in Petzig's system. So I think JMO is in line to potentially have the best year of his career. I'm a little bit more off him than the community is, but still, it sounds like it's going really well. If Laporta plays the whole season, that's a massive swing. And then the difference in having Gibbs back there as a receiver versus having Monty back there as a receiver, like if you take Monty's percentage of the offensive touches and you diffuse that to Gibbs, JMO, and Amon Ra and Laporta, I think Goff has a career year this year. He's my favorite QB2 for redraft because I think there's going to be such a nice safe floor there. But yeah, we will see. Time will tell.
Dude, Stribling's been getting too expensive for me now too. I fear that I'll have no redraft Stribling.
Yeah, it just depends where he lands. If Mike Evans keeps missing time, he's going to go sub pick 100.
Dude, I'm seeing Stribling go before Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to chase him up there. Dude, people still have to understand like the nature of Kyle Shanahan and rookie receivers. Before Brandon Ayuk had an all pro season that was one of the most efficient seasons in NFL history, Kyle hated him so much he wouldn't let him get on the field. So like Kyle, because he wouldn't block, and now Stribling is a willing blocker, not just a willing block. And Stribling mentally seems like he's kind of a dog. Like he seems like a very different temperament than Ayuk. His uncle was a pro wrestler with the WWE. The one of the Hawaiian dudes, one of the Polynesian dudes from the 70s or 80s. I forget his name. Stribling seems temperamentally like a much more solid person than Ayuk was. So maybe it's not a fair comparison, like from a personality standpoint. But ahead of one of the most efficient seasons in NFL history, Kyle Shanahan was willing to bench Ayuk for like weeks, like just doghouse him completely and erase him. I think people are maybe over indexing a little bit on the confidence that Stribling comes out and gets a giant role. And even if you think he gets the Jawan Jennings role in San Francisco, right, which I think is the most realistic thing to project, Jawan Jennings still did not really go off unless Debo or Ayuk were injured. It wasn't like that Jawan Jennings was there and had a consistent role. He was like a wide receiver four. And then when one of them would go out, he'd be really significant.
Yeah, and just for our WWE fans out there, Dejon Stribling's uncle is the legendary professional wrestler Don the Rock Morocco.
Okay. I didn't know his name. Was he a big deal?
I've never heard of him before.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Years before Dwayne Johnson used the so he was the Rock before the Rock.
Really?
Interesting. Yeah, Dwayne's a copycat.
Oh man, I was I went to see Spider-Man today and they're doing I guess I didn't know that I loved the original movies as a kid with Robin Williams, Jumanji. I didn't know that they've had like a series of Jumanji movies going for like the last 20 years because I've been out of that loop. It's starring The Rock. And dude, it's he's so past his prime, man.
Was that
As
with
an
Jack
actor.
Black?
It's with Jack Black. I believe he's playing the Robin Williams character. I don't know. It's some weird spin they're doing on Jumanji. What the hell happened? Why
Dude,
am
I
I
wanted to go see the Minecraft movie. I never did though. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight. I'll watch the Minecraft movie.
nice? Really good value. I want to make sure I have Lamar. Oh God, I think I just heard someone come in the office. I hope I'm not making too much noise. I really want to have the Lamar Mark Andrews stack, but that is so far down for likely, especially in full PPR. But I'm also happy with Juwan Johnson. Okay. Well, okay, there goes likely. So that's the hardest playing. Okay, we'll see. I hope Juwan Johnson comes back to us here. I want to make sure to stack up Andrews with uh, Jackson, but Kelsey or Johnson feels like a really good value here. Jordan Tyson, ooh, that's appealing.
Woody Marks looks great.
I will say Woody Marks is aging very nicely, very very nicely as the summer goes on.
And there was a report. Did you see this one? That I think it was a beat reporter or something. So again, you have to take that with a grain of salt. But basically, they said that Monty and Woody Marks is not going to be a 50-50, but quote unquote, it should be close to that. I think someone said that on Zach's stream today, and they were talking about how much they hate the Monty pick in the fourth round. I think
Uh,
Woody Marks has some standalone value there. I think, like, for example, if Danny Ladd had drafted Woody Marks instead of Jonah Coleman, he'd probably be much happier now.
it depends what your roster is going for. Yeah, if he breaks into like the RB3 category, then yeah, you got a really good price. Okay, I Juwan Johnson over Jordan Tyson feels so goofy, but I think Juwan Johnson's just going to be so good this year as a tight end, especially in full PPR. We'll go him, build up our tight end room with volume. Yeah, again, so for me, right, in my double hero builds with my running back 4 or 5, which is what I'm shopping for in this range, I always prefer someone that I perceive correctly or incorrectly to have the best chance at getting like a 12 to 15 point roll in half PPR, right? Like a mid range RB2, back end RB2, front end RB1 if things go really well. My read on it was that we already saw Woody Marks in that role last year, and it was like a boom bust RB3 for the most part. He did have a couple good weeks, but like to me, he looked really bad. Like just as like I felt like Jawar Jordan outrushed him at times. So maybe he took some leap, right? Or maybe like just doing the passing down work and letting Monty take like the trenches work allows him to stay healthy and explosive and do what he does best in the receiving game. And yeah, then I'll be incorrect in my assessment on that. And he's more like a split back, which, probably should have been going like, if he really gets a true split, he should be going in front or like right around the Keaton Mitchells of the world, maybe 20 picks higher than he is right now.
The
But
Kenny Gainwells of the world.
sure, if you're yeah, I don't know if he'd be going around pick 100, but I maybe. So the bigger thing for me though is I think that Jonah Coleman has an outside shot if J.K. Dobbins goes down of getting the early down work for the Broncos. Like that's what I'm chasing in my double hero starts. I want a running back that I think if they hit, that'll take me way over the top, and I'll run the table through the playoffs.
Well,
Um,
when you have a double hero start, that is easier to get away with,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
say you have a hero RB build with Ashton Genty,
yeah,
and then you said I'm reaching up in the 10th round for Jonah Coleman to be
yeah,
my RB3 because I'm so excited
yes,
about what that player could be, and then
yeah,
you're just kind of
yep.
SOL.
So that is a huge facet of the draft guide that we put out from Free Tendies Fantasy. The risk profile of a player and the value of a player specifically, what we're debating here, because it's a really good debate. It's a debate that you should be having with how you construct your roster. It's what does having a safe median mean to you versus like what is having a wild 95th percentile outcome. Like how do you judge those two things differently? It should shift with how you've built your roster. So what Ted is pointing out rightly, because it just happened in the Flock League, if you have a hero RB build, you need to be favoring usable volume with your running back 3 and 4. You do not come out and like, now he did actually have he had Jalen Warren and Jordan Mason, who I think are perfectly reasonable 2 and 3. But those are still two guys in a split backfield. Having a Woody Marks there that you think, like I think Woody Marks in half PPR, now they're in a full PPR league, so maybe he settles around 8 to 10 points a game, right? And then, maybe Monty gets hurt and he has much more value than that. But like that is a roster saving amount of points as opposed to a Jonah Coleman who I think is going to average 1 or 2 points a game barring injury. So, that's a misunderstanding of how you construct on Danny Ladd's part. That's a misunderstanding of how you construct a hero roster build where you don't want like two or three handcuffs or two or three split fields and then two pure handcuffs behind a hero running back. Because, yeah, then you get in trouble really quickly. I also would just handcuff your hero. I have no problem doing that. I don't know why that's the biggest thing in the league is like, don't ever handcuff, don't ever. Dude, if I have if this year, if you draft a Kenneth Walker roster, 100% take that rookie, take Johnson as his handcuff. Like, because if you're relying on Kenneth Walker to stay healthy all year, you should handcuff. If you draft Saquon Barkley and you don't take another running back till round 7, I would just go ahead and Tank Bigsby in round 10 or 11. I don't see any issue with doing that, and that's another way to mitigate some of the risk you've taken on when you make that type of decision.
The issue with handcuffing, I think handcuffing is fine, but there's certain guys that you don't want to handcuff when the handcuff is kind of expensive, right? Like,
Right.
I'm thinking like if you take J.K. Dobbins, don't handcuff him to R.J. Harvey, for example,
No.
right? Because R.J. Harvey is like an 8th round pick, and you just blew an 8th round pick on, like, basically you use the 7th and 8th round pick, and if it goes well for Dobbins, you could argue that it doesn't go well for Harvey, right? Or so like the handcuffs that I'm targeting are like for Christian McCaffrey, I'm getting Kalon Black. For Josh Jacobs, if I do the thing where I reach up in the 3rd round for Josh Jacobs, then I will just tack on Marshawn
Oh,
Lloyd at the end of drafts, right?
Jacoby Lane went right before me. I was panicking, going, "Where is Jacoby Lane? What happened?" Yeah, but that is absolutely correct. Even here, right? Like I'm a big Jonah Coleman guy in terms of like I would be drafting him at this range. But if I draft R.J. Harvey, which I did in this draft, that's my bet I'm making on their backfield. Now it's still cheap enough. I probably could do it without like hindering my roster. But I'm kind of happy with just I placed my bet there. I do want another running back here. Honestly, so I have kind of a weird choice here. I can speculate that Tracy Jr. gets traded to the Raiders, which I think he's one of the most likely guys to get traded. But I'm going to go ahead and opt for the bigger swing here in Tank Bigsby. I love Jonah Coleman at this price range. I love Tracy at this price range. I love Charbonnet. But we have a guy who should see volume in full PPR. We have two heroes. We are going to go ahead and take a giant swing where if he ends up becoming relevant, Tank could really push me over.
Well, I mean, you kind of moved past this pretty quickly there, but there was a pretty large implication when you said make the bet that Tyrone Tracy is going to be traded here.
Yeah,
That he's kind of dead.
yeah,
Are we? Because the last stream we were on, we were kind of making fun of the Najee Harris thing
right,
and saying that he went to the strip club and thought that the strippers loved him.
right,
Like that's kind of where we were at with that. But
right.
so obviously the unprompted fumble in a preseason game inside the 10-yard line, coupled with the missed block. Like we don't. I'm the guy on this show who says that it's just preseason, and I don't really take what we see very seriously there. But two just egregious mistakes like that
Yep.
in bringing in another running back, it does freak me out now. So yeah, I think that in New York, the Tyrone Tracy dream may be dead. Does that change the math at all for you about Cam Scatterboom?
Yes. It makes Cam much more appealing to me. If Tyron Tracy gets traded, I'll take Cam Scattaboo in the 3rd round. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it comes down to Cam Scattaboo and Najee Harris in the backfield, yeah, I'll take him in the 3rd round. Even
You're
though
forgetting about secret top 15 RB
Devin Singletary,
He was still
correct.
there.
So my thinking more so with Tracy is one, I didn't think the pass block was a big deal because they had booked Najee before that. My thinking with Tracy is more like if you're the Raiders, this connects back to what we were discussing earlier, right? You're the Raiders. You have a rookie quarterback. You want him to get meaningful reps, meaning reps where he is not out there getting his teeth kicked in because defenses aren't worried about anything on your team, right? It seems like they want to get probably a skilled running back in there, not just like a nobody. So Trey Benson is a really big one to me. Trey Benson's a talented player in my opinion. Like he was supposed to be kind of good coming out of college. That's a great pick there. But if not, I think the most talented running back you could go get on the market right now is probably Tyron Tracy Jr. So it's more just like I think that's a call. It would be him or Sean Tucker for me. If I were the Raiders, I would try to get Sean Tucker or Tyron Tracy Jr. in there. So that's more why I think he gets moved. I think it would be silly for the Giants to get rid of him. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's an excellent receiving back. He's a pretty competent runner. He's explosive. But, maybe he really has fallen out of favor on that level. A ghost fumble out of nowhere will certainly do that to you too,
I would love to see the Buccaneers move Sean Tucker so we can actually get some Bucky goal line carries.
Oh my god, dude, if the Buccaneers move Sean Tucker, I'll take Bucky in the third round. Like that would be the best thing ever would just to alleviate my like blockage around how I'm structuring drafts cuz I want two running backs early. That would be fantastic. Let's somehow do both, right? Let's get Sean Tucker out of Tampa Bay and let's get Tyron Tracy out of New York so we have some like new third round running backs on the menu. Because I'm really not in on Kyron Williams this year. I'm really not in on Javonte Williams this year. I'm sketched out with the Love and Hall injuries. I was in on both of them before they're injured. Jacobs feels really risky to me, but I still think it's like a good structural pick. I'm willing to make. I don't like how he's looked like explosivity wise or and then health wise this summer. But yeah, I would love to have some guys towards that back that I can bet on.
Yeah, dude, that third round, like I don't want to click any of those guys. Like
Nope.
that's why I'm pulling up Jacobs when I
Yep.
do it. If I go wide receiver exactly, and I don't have a running back, I just don't want to take one of those guys in the third round at like cost, right? Like that's why I'm pulling up Jacobs.
That's probably what I'm doing too. I'm okay with Hall or Love if you really want to. It's just like you're not as high on Olave, so maybe it doesn't feel as bad to you. To me, leaving like an Olave or Pickens on the board in the early third for one of those
Devontae
guys,
Smith.
yeah, like Devontis, dude, like there's some guys that could really go off this year, and it feels weird to just go, well, structural pick. I need a running back. Like I don't like doing that very often, and it kind of feels like that's what you're doing there. Very
Well, there's
weird.
only so many running backs you can draft in the first round, unfortunately. Now we have one less of them, so
Yep.
I think that's going to be an issue for more people.
Yep. Alvin Kamara has sort of fallen out of favor with me because
Sprained
of
MCL right now.
yeah, dude, it's just so freaky. Hmm, go Pat Bryant. Just get another decent receiver.
Tell you what, though, it makes me feel a lot better about Travis Etienne. Like I already
Yep,
was kind of experimenting with the idea, and now we have the not good Alvin Kamara is also injured. Alvin Kamara.
yep, yep. I, d- I don't know, dude. It would be an unfortunate. We'll do the indecent exposure here and take Pacheco if he falls back. If not, we'll do a Braylon Allen. It would be such an unfortunate way for one of the coolest careers in NFL history in Alvin Kamara to go out. But it sure seems like he's just quietly seeing himself out the door here as a fantasy relevant player.
Yeah, I think he's just getting his paycheck at this point, right? Like he's had a great career, but you could tell, especially from last year when he had all the opportunity and didn't do anything with it,
Yep.
right? And pretty much every other running back that ran in front of him or instead of him looked better than him. Like I don't know why it would magically be better this year.
Yep. Apparently, I think he's hurt right now, but I believe it's Audric Estime there. Apparently, Estime's looked pretty good all summer. So
Kendra Miller, I remember he was a big thing in the fantasy community for a long time. One
I
of us was way more of a believer in that player than the other one.
I unironically started him. I don't remember what he did. I started him for one game last year. Um, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't one game. Maybe it was. I think it was last year.
I think it was the year before because you were asking me, do I do Kendra Miller or insert other guy? And I
Yeah.
said insert other guy, and then you just went and did Kendra Miller instead, who got like 4 points.
Well. Yep. Yep. Yep.
The guy I suggested wasn't good either, though. So
Nice.
if it was, I would have remembered that more clearly and given you more shit about it.
Nice. We just collectively blew it. That's good. Um, yeah, Kendry Miller, almost certainly not a good football player, but yeah. So I think,
Wait! You're calling him not a good football player anymore? I thought he was just injured.
yeah, I don't know, but what's the difference, right? If he doesn't see the field. But Audric Estime apparently is he's curried some favor with the coaching staff there. He was there last year. I did start now Audric Estime. I did start last year at multiple times, and he got I believe it was in the finals. I had to start Audric Estime in a couple teams because I was so banged up, and I think he got like 12. I think he had a 12-point game last year towards the end of the season in half
That's not
PPR.
bad. That's
Yeah,
not bad for a waiver wire guy.
yeah, I remember streaming him. It was a roster that had lost like it was something wild. I forget how many guys. Um, yeah, yeah. Started Audric Estime.
Oronde Gadsden goes there. He's had an absolutely horrendous offseason.
It's only gone one way there, unfortunately.
The narratives could not have gone worse for him.
No, no. Again, still rightly or wrongly, probably wrongly, still believe he is a good player.
I mean, he passed the eye test to me. It's not very often a rookie tight end has 700 yards his
Yep.
rookie year and then just gets demoted to the bench.
Yep.
Third string.
Feels like the kind of guy, like if the 49ers went and got him as a wide receiver, or a tight end two compliment to, like, if you had him as a compliment guy that was running some weird routes during games, I think he could do some damage. Like what Tonjes does for the Niners. If he was in that kind
It'd
of
just
role,
be like a better than Jake Tonjes in every facet.
yeah,
Younger.
yeah. He's a good athlete, man. Like those guys create mismatches. I think he's a good player.
Trying to think of what other injury news there was today. Parker Washington returns to practice. The Slappies are going to be happy about that one.
Yeah. It sounds like we're still waiting on news about the Jacoby Myers injury. He is in an arm sling right now, or in a brace on his arm.
Oh,
They
I forgot about that one.
they
Yeah.
didn't report anything about it. Who is that better for, Brian Thomas Jr. or Parker Washington? I think it's probably just good for both if he's out, right? It's consolidation. Jaden Higgins, good pick,
Well,
man.
I would have said that's very, very good for Travis Hunter, if now he wasn't being talked about as being the cornerback one for the team.
Yes.
Like an injury to a guy like Jacoby Myers is exactly like the use case I would think for Travis Hunter, but I think he's just going to be stretched too thin with the two positions thing.
That pick is the name's James Gladstone, I believe, right, for the GM.
Yes.
Uh, he was touted as this young, really sharp, like analytics driven dude, and he, I believe he was like 33 or 36 when he got that job. And his first big move was to do that trade. I think you're a complete jackass if you did that. The only reason you do that trade is because you believe, and some scouts did believe, that Travis Hunter's like a Malik Neighbors caliber player, and you're going to use him on offense as the centerpiece of your passing attack. That is the only reason you trade up like that. If they ended up doing that to get like an above average NFL corner, so like the quality of an NFL corner you could get in the late first, early second round, that's absolutely wild. It's absolutely
I think
wild.
above average is being very charitable too,
Yeah.
based on what we've seen.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah.
I think they spent their second rounder this year, a third rounder on Nate Borkirker,
Yeah.
tight end who had 400 career receiving yards in college too. So like they aggressively drafted a blocking tight end, which you could get a million of on the waivers.
Brutal, dude.
Hey man, sometimes analytics aren't your friend.
What
Everyone
happened?
wants to be Billy Bean, but not everyone can be Billy Bean.
Whatever happened with Kate Otten? Did they ever say anything about his injury?
Last I saw, it was undisclosed. No one knows.
Okay. We'll throw a little bet out here that Jalen Noel can come back and make some noise on the Texans. Unlikely, but we will throw a dart there on that.
Well, dude, if Tank Dell isn't physically ready, which I
Yeah.
think is absolutely in the range of outcomes, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. I thought Noel looked good at periods last year. I thought so. Ugh. Okay, I'm quickly becoming a Darren Waller tight end 3 guy. I just keep taking Darren Waller late, thinking like, well, he probably catches 3 or 4 touchdowns. And if he catches 3 or 4 touchdowns and you get 3 or 4 usable weeks out of him, like, yeah.
Can't believe the disrespect to Charlie Kolar you're showing right now.
To Charlie Kohler. Well, yeah. I mean, I could do Sean Tucker here and then swing around to Charlie Kolar because I like Sean Tucker a lot. All right, Ted. We'll be Charlie Kolar guys then. Or I'll be a Charlie Kolar guy. You don't want.
We are Charlie Kolar guys.
Okay, we are Charlie Kolar guys. All right, let's see, dude. We're gonna see if I do prefer Waller, but if not, we'll go somewhere. Chess Liam is rolling over in his chess suit. I don't know what you wear when you play chess. Chess outfit.
Well, dude, Chess Liam is still pounding the drum for Jordan James. I had to get in a Twitter argument with some guy today.
Okay.
Like, a lot of the guys are like, well, Jordan James has been getting all the buzz, all the camp buzz. I was like,
Okay.
no, not really. No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
This guy sends me three tweets, two of which were from the Twitter account our San Francisco 49ers,
Yeah.
who is a fan account. He's the if you ever watch Larry Krueger's show, he has a Indian guy who comes on. I forgot his name. Sorry. To the runner of we are or our San Francisco 49ers, but it's like basically a fan account. And then you know that Brad SF
Yeah.
guy on
Yeah.
Twitter. He was the other tweet that he sent me. It was about buzzing and like, why are you sending me fan accounts? Like this is not real.
Yeah.
This is not real.
Yeah, dude, to me, I think the biggest thing, the reason that I've just been drafting Kalen Black, the reason I put it out to 49ers Hub that I think you should draft Kalen Black as the backup to CMC. They had Jordan James in house. Like, he couldn't stay healthy at all last year. He did have a couple nice runs when given the opportunity, but it seemed like he couldn't stay on the field, so that's a huge factor. But the 49ers had Jordan James in house when they went and got Kalen Black. Like, I don't.
It reached very highly for Kalen
Yeah.
Black too. It
Yeah.
was perceived to be a massive reach at the time, and they said he was their RB2 on their board.
To me, dude, the biggest insight you can have into what do they want to do is, well, they loved him enough to reach way up to take ridicule on him. And then again, this was it was like a quick little 300-word piece for a 49ers up. So I wasn't like writing some dissertation on the dude. I just wanted to get out some stuff like here's what I noticed. What I noticed about Kalen Black is it's been a huge issue lately with running back. We're seeing it with Trevion Henderson right now. A lot of these rookies cannot get on the field because the nuances of the complexities of NFL blitz pickup and pass blocking apparently is way above what they're doing in college. I don't know if I'm not technically knowledgeable enough to say why that is exactly. I would just assume it's because in the NFL they're more complex blitz structures, right? But what you saw with Kalen Black, and like I believe he played 20 snaps in two of those, that dude took a 230-pound linebacker on the chin coming up the middle. He picked up a blitz and he put the dude back. He great blitz pickup on a pass block. And then he identified a corner blitz where he had to go outside of the tackle and pick up a blitzing corner on a third down. I'm telling you right now, if he's doing that, he's way more likely to see the field than James, because that gives him a totally unique role that we need badly in San Francisco. And then additionally, I hate saying we like I play for the team, but I've suffered enough for the team. It's a we thing. And then additionally, it gives them the optionality to put him in the backfield and to motion McCaffrey into the slot. So like they can use him as sort of a Kyle Juszczyk McCaffrey. They like doing that where they have two backs in motion. It reveals coverage to the team. It lets McCaffrey do what he does out of the slot. I think Kalen Black is going to find his way onto the field this year, and I think he is the clear handcuff to Christian McCaffrey. I think Chesley is just wrong about that. He's taken a lot of Jordan James right all summer, so I think he's maybe Tate guarding a little bit, puppy guarding his take there, but I think he's incorrect.
Yep, many such cases in the fantasy community. I'm definitely more bullheaded than a lot of people that
Yeah.
are
Oh
currently online drafting fantasy teams. Oh no,
no. Okay, yeah, go on.
you got sniped right in front of you.
Yep. Yep.
Well, dude, you can always tack on a little Jake Tonjes here. Little Jake Tonjes never hurt anyone.
No, I still like Evan Ingram. He is still a starter.
Where is your respect for the Los Gatos legend?
Yeah.
Apparently, he was a primary target in joint practice with the Chargers.
Good God.
For
man.
our favorite beat reporter, Grant Cohn.
Good God.
I'm glad we have Grant Cohn and David Lombardi in the 49ers circle of reporters, because it teaches you the lesson about you have to be careful about what these guys say.
Yeah. Oh.
We learn if we had Mary Kay Cabot, who was just killing it,
Yep.
then maybe we'd be like, I trust that.
Yep.
That's what the beat report said. I trust it.
Yep.
But we have the best possible example of, hey, you can't always take what these guys say at face value.
Matt Mayoko's pretty good. Like
Mayoko's good. Kawakami is good.
Yeah, Tim Kawakami. But we don't have like a Rick Stroud, like a guy who's just been in the trenches for 30 years with the team, and like, what he's saying is because he actually calls the GM's office, asks a question. Like we don't really have that.
Well, Grant is actively disliked by the team. One of the members of the team, who was it? Was it Juszczyk who accused him of looking at players' dicks?
Oh God, easy with the YouTube. Yes. He accused him. He said some guys just stare at you blank faced and their eyes wander, was what he said in a very creepy. It was a very creepy tone.
There was
Um,
a very strong implication that Grant Coe was
yes,
Peter watching,
yes, Peter.
basically a
Yeah,
blocker.
yeah, yeah. Meat gazing, as they call it. Yes, there was an implication of that, and it was not an implication. It was quite direct. Okay, so we're in round 20. I mean, you know what? For old time's sake, I just need a ninth receiver at this point. We're gonna do an Elijah Surratt with Lamar Jackson. I was taking him a
Eh,
lot in the beginning of the
Hey, maybe
summer.
that works out.
Yeah,
There's a world that works out.
it's a round 20 pick. Like, honestly, it probably doesn't. But as we learned, we apparently should have been taking injury contingency way more seriously all summer. Indecent Exposure said, "How is Mike Washington free?" on the first stream he ever dropped in for us. And, like, to me, it was because I just, in my head, I went, he's a second year running back who's going to take 80 to 85% of touches. I was not really, I have 1%. Mike Washington, Real quick,
I
here's the
have
team.
0.
Yeah, here's the team before we jump into another one. James Cook, Chase Brown, Devonta Smith, Igbuka Evans. If I get that start, ladies and gentlemen, in really this start too, if I end up with this in any sort of redraft league, I would be doing jumping jacks. Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, R.J. Harvey, Jaden Reed, Casey Concepcion, Jordan Love, Andrews, Johnson, Wicks, Bigsby, Bryant, Pacheco, Noel, Tucker, Ingram, Surratt. I mean, how much of a boost to Surratt, I don't really know. Ingram, tight end 3, not great, but the rest of it I'm very happy with.
Maybe you could have added a Tug Watson on in the 20th round.
I think it's gonna be Shador, dude. I don't know though. I have no confidence in that take. It just feels like Watson looks so bad that I think it's gonna be Shador.
Dude, did you see him on the podium after the game? Because he had a terrible game against the Bills, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm taking this personally because these are the same fans that were cheering when I tore my Achilles, and now they're booing me." And it's like, well, I mean, based on the robbery you have completed on that team, the amount of dollars you've stolen from them, and the sexual assault allegations, I
Yeah.
think that people are they're kind of in the justified in hating you.
Yep. Yep. Oh my god. The state of I did not move I have like maybe 5 or 6 grand of completed master set binders on eBay and like some other stuff. I just don't really move the price down when the market dips. I keep them at the price I'm happy with, and I let other people come up or down to me.
Yep.
And I know things are not doing great when I'm getting offers at like 60% of listed on eBay. So like, and again, they're probably lower market price. Like it's a $700 market item or 650, and I'm asking, I think 650. So I get it. Right. Now that was market price. I would guess right now, cause everything's down about 15-20%. So it's probably down closer to like 520, 530, maybe 540. And I'm getting offers at 400. 420 for something that like a couple months ago was approaching $700, and then you lose 15% from eBay on top of it. I'm not doing that. I'd rather light them on fire. Rather light the guards
This
on
is a
fire.
very niche complaint here
Yep.
to our fantasy football fans, but if you are a single person who is making an offer on, say, a small master set or one or
No.
two singles, and you're hanging like $60 or 60% of market offers, like you are not the LGS.
No.
LGSs lay those stinky offers out there because they have bricks and mortars that they have to operate, and they have to like ensure a profit margin. You can get out of here with your 70% market.
Yeah, let's see what the offer is. Hopefully, I swear, like I know it's not how it works, but I like swear someone's gonna pull my account on there. We're good. We got 3 minutes till this draft. Well, whatever. Okay, all right, dude. Oh god. Okay.
Please log into your email. Oh, what's this?
Yeah. So here's the new offer. Let's see what it's for.
Nearly complete. Why didn't you
Yeah.
just complete it, dude?
I don't have all of the reverse hollows in there. Okay, Jamar Chase to start. We have a little bit of a turn. We'll digress into eBay for a little bit. But let's see. Okay. So I'm only asking 600, 485 buy it now. So that's reasonable, and I think it topped out at about 600 market price. I mean, again, I don't know. This isn't like interesting to anyone to talk about. It's not fantasy football, but you go over to Arizona TCG and check the per set price. I'm going to guess the market price right now is like 530, 540 on that. Not doing it. Not selling at the bottom. Diamond hands. Diamond hands when the market crashes.
This would only make money, boys.
Yep. Everyone is selling. Everyone and their mother's selling. Yeah, it's a good time to be buying. So Yeah, dude. How high would you take? To me, it's just running back at 6 now is the big change I've made. These three fine, but to me, it's Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, CMC
Yep.
from here on. I think that's just what it is, dude. An 8.5% shift in the top 24 in the market is big. That is a big shift in the current running back
Because,
market.
well, because yeah, if you were drafting at 6, 7, and 8 before, like
Yeah.
you could tell yourself a story where one of those running backs makes it back to you in the second round. Now I don't think it can.
No. And I don't know what's going on in like other leagues. If it's high stakes, if it's three wide receiver, if it's full PPR. There's people saying that Omarion Hampton and Derrick Henry are 2 3-turn picks. I don't. I that is not the world I've been living in. If it is, then yeah, you're totally fine. You don't have to stress about anything. I don't think in Yahoo half PPR, I don't think those guys are getting below. I think it's like pick 16, 17 is going to be your top out range, maybe 18 to get a running back.
I mean, I would have said I have no concerns with Omarion Hampton other than whether or not he's good at football.
Yeah.
Maybe last week, but all the injuries that are cropping up on the offensive line do freak me out a little bit about the
Yep.
Chargers' offensive environment.
Yep.
So
They,
I did move Omarion Hampton below Chase Brown and Kenneth Walker, actually, in my rankings.
yeah. For me, it's Barkley and Brown ahead of Hampton. I'm still taking him ahead of Henry and Achane, and then I've always had Walker at the back of that tier. Um,
Starting to get a little Walker curious, man. Starting to warm up to that idea.
he is climbing into the first round of drafts right now. He
Well, I mean,
is.
we have one death in the tier, so he is going up one spot no matter how much you don't like him.
Do you want to know what an idiot I am after that whole conversation? I just saw Genty there and I went, "Ooh, I might get a running back on the comeback." I'm like, "Oh man, what a score in this economy!" Like,
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe it is a MCL sprain and it's a month. I don't think so though. If
maybe
they cut the music at practice,
and say
they don't
prayers.
cut the music. Yeah, well, the prayers, yes, that too, but they don't cut the music. You don't
Yeah.
do that unless it's serious.
I don't know, dude. I don't pray unless it's serious. I don't remember the last time something happened that forced me to pray.
Well, hold on. Kirk Cousins is out there. He's a man of God. He can pray for a lot of different things.
Yeah, we'll go neighbors here. Neighbors chase seems kind of fun. I'm still worried about like what neighbors looks like when he actually gets out there for the first time and opens it up like sprinting. Like there he still has not taken the red contact jersey off in practice yet. So like for redraft, I'm actually going to be a lot more weird about neighbors. For best ball. Yeah, you know.
I can't get neighbors over Pickens or Rasheed Rice at this moment in time, but
I
I
think
will
that's where I'm going to
fire
land.
him. I will fire him before Trey McBride.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to land is basically just I'm going to take guys that now Rashid too though. I need to see him like look healthy. That's like kind of a big thing for me.
I am
Um,
just going in there with supreme confidence that his jail rehab went great.
okay, that's certainly a thing you could do. Yeah. Um,
If there's one thing you guys got to know about me, I make fun of the slappies a lot. I will always be a slappy for the Kansas City Chiefs
yeah.
and Andy Reid. Like I still will draft Mahomes. Like if I get Mahomes in the 11th round of like a Yahoo draft, mock draft, I'm like, oh sweet, I can't believe I got that great value at quarterback. He's gonna be good, even though all of the advanced analytics and Mahomes' downfield throw percent would say, hey, maybe he's not performing like the best player in the world. I can't help but think he is still. Maybe he's number two now behind Josh Allen. What do
Yeah.
you think, Johnny? If you had to rank the quarterbacks today, would you take Josh Allen over Mahomes? Because you've
Yes.
been like a
Yep.
historical Josh Allen hater, but
Yep.
even you.
I would take Josh Allen over Mahomes. Yeah. Just too many like physical tools that are, Josh Allen is. I think if you took,
Unbelievable.
I
He's
think,
so good.
I think if you put Josh Allen on the Chiefs, like for those years where they had, Tyreek Hill and all that, I think Josh Allen has the hardware. Um, yeah, yep, I would take Josh Allen over Mahomes. I don't know. Is it Lamar to me? I worry more that he's like going to decline athletically more so than these guys because he's taken so many hits on his body in a way that the other quarterbacks haven't, because of his running. So I don't think there's any conversation with like Lamar versus Patrick. I would be curious to hear like what NFL GMs would say about Drake May versus Patrick Mahomes, but to me that's still Mahomes when fully healthy. Because to me, like when
The
Mahomes is fully healthy, he's maybe the most clutch and most unique quarterback I've ever seen as far as like comebacks. Dude, that guy does not lose games. He just doesn't lose in big moments. And like, I think that's a hard thing to quantify, even if his physical downfield throwing has declined a little bit and maybe his running's going to be a little worse with the ACL now. I still think you have to do that.
Yeah, I'm open to the idea. If you want to rank Josh Allen as number one, I
Yeah.
think that's fine at this point. But any other quarterback, I don't think it's a conversation.
Well, but
I think you take Mahomes next.
do you think if there was a fantasy style draft where you every player was a free agent and franchises were drafting, because now the age comes into play, the health history comes into play, do you think May would go above Mahomes?
No, I don't think so.
Probably
Like
not.
that's kind of how I'm ranking these players, right? Like
No.
a guy like Stafford would go later for sure. Like Stafford is my QB4 in the NFL. Like that is not for fantasy. It's just like NFL talk. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like if they were doing a fantasy draft, you'd be stupid to take Stafford as the fourth quarterback because of the age, right? He's maybe got 1 to 2 years left.
Okay, we'll go Josh Jacobs there to balance out this start. I would love this. If I do go three wide receivers, I want a crazy start like that. Chase Neighbors Rice. God, that would be fun. Um, Maybe this is where we take a little Cam Scattaboo share if he comes back. Baishal Tootin. I could just punt totally and go hero build. Start our running back shopping at the next tier. I
Theo Greminger declared today that Jadarian Price's role is locked up.
Yeah. See
See,
what's
we got our daily fantasy guy, the DFS guy. Coach Peak says Monty and the other Houston running back would be getting too close to share. Do you agree? Like, do you think that's going to happen? We were actually talking about this a little bit earlier in the stream. We're gonna call you DFS guy,
yeah.
because I can't say user plus characters. I do think that it's not going to be 50-50. I think Monty is going to be the primary back there, the feature back, if you will. I do think Woody Marks is going to get some work though. Like I think, what do you think like the biggest bull case for Monty is? Like 65%, 70%?
I mean, yeah. I never thought he would go. I thought he was always going to get 65%, probably 2/3, right? But um, my issue. So the issue with the Monty thing becomes if he's not getting any passing game work. So there's a distinction here, right? Between there was an interesting study on Twitter about it. Being the third down back, like the literal third down back, you come in on passing down and distance and you do your third down work only, doesn't actually impact fantasy for the starter as much as you would think. But like, if it becomes a third down back plus 20-30% of the carries, which, if Woody Marks looks as good as he does look in the preseason, right, I think it's a problem. I think it does lower Monty's ceiling as far as like, I thought Monty could flirt with like top 15 this year if he really got like the 65 to 70% roll. If it's no passing work plus he's seeding a good amount of rushing work, I'm a little worried. Do I think they'll do that? I don't think they're going to be trailing that much where they need to pass a lot. Like I think they're going to grind out games. Doesn't that feel like that to you? That they're going to really grind out stuff, and then if Woody Marks does have a serious passing role, that would be to me because they didn't add another receiver and they're using him as like a substitute for the short passing game, which I don't know if that necessarily eats off Monty's plate because Monty, you see what I'm saying? Like to me, that would more be like we didn't get another receiver, we have a bunch of targets on the table, let's give Marks 3 to 4 targets a week.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that the best way I can say it is it's not going to be a Monty bell cow situation, and I think Woody Marks will get some work within the offense. But my confidence in Montgomery has not wavered, and I'm not like nuking him in my rankings, especially since where you're drafting him is kind of the dead zone, anyways. The one change I did make is like I thought Swift and Monty. Sometimes I'd just take Monty straight up over Swift.
yeah, no,
Now with the Monungai injury, I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm taking Swift first.
I would take
But once you get
ETN.
into like
I would take
yeah,
ETN
yeah,
above him
ETN
too.
too, ETN too. But once you start getting into the conversation of like Quinshon Judkins, Bucky Irving,
That's Monty. That's Monty for me.
Baishal Tootin,
That is Monty for me.
yeah, yeah. So like, still, I think he's a solid 4 or 5 turn pick or fifth round guy.
Yep. Would love to get a slide on Trevion Henderson to 70 here to save this build. Not save it. I don't think it's like dying or anything, but it would be great to pick up a very late Trevion.
I continue to be more and more optimistic on the Trevion Henderson outlook. A lot of people are kind of saying, "Well, what if Ramondre is just a better running back?"
Yeah, I don't think
Like
that's.
I saw that tweet today. Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that's the case at all. I think Ramondre is the vet, and he will have some work, but I think that by the end of this season, Trevion Henderson beats him out. I just think that the skill gap and what he offers your running game is far more dynamic than anything that Ramondre can offer you.
Okay, so we have a. Wow, Burrow goes that much higher than like a Caleb Williams. I would rather Caleb Williams straight up. I was going to see if we have a Burrow Chase stack, but we do not. We can honestly go with a Tucker Craft here because that'll open up a Jacobs Craft Love a little bit later on. I'm so happy with. I actually, to full disclosure, I meant to click Christian Watson over Parker Washington there, but I love them both, so I'm happy with it. I don't know what I didn't see actually what happened. We were talking. Warren, I'm totally happy with. I have Warren actually as like my RB 25, 26. So, especially in full PPR. Very happy with Warren. Um, I don't like this tier of running back to me is one that I'm kind of happy to skip on. So yeah, I think we'll try to set up a Jordan Love, Tucker Craft, Josh Jacobs little trio here down the road.
Yep. This tier of running backs, I would rather just draft the guys in the next round. The
That's what
Blake
I've been doing.
Corums,
Yep.
the Chuba Hubbards,
Yep.
the RJ Harveys.
Yep. Chuba represents to me. So now there is this cluster of running backs, and the so I this again was central to our draft guide. What we were telling people to do. Well, I shouldn't put Ted's name on it, but I do think he endorses it at this point in the season, right? I've been very comfortable including Jadarian Price. By the way, I'm not drafting Jadarian Price. It's to me, you're saying he's going to get 100% of the work. I don't think he's going to, and even if he does, I think Charbonnet is going to end up disrupting him at the key moment of the season, right? So I've never been a price guy, but to me, I'm very happy, exactly like Ted just said. I'm very happy to just start my shopping round 8, 9, 10 and load up. So if I have a double hero start, I'm going to take two guys in rounds 8 through 10 instead, who I think profile similarly in terms of the upside case. Maybe they have a little bit lower floor, but that allows you to take an elite onesie in here. You're sometimes seeing like Jaden Daniels back here, even a Jalen Hurts, a Caleb Williams, Tucker Kraft, Sam Laporta, like these guys that I think are actually elite swings at the onesie positions, or like even a Marvin Harrison Jr. back here feels really good to me. A Brian Thomas Jr. feels really fairly priced back here to me. And yeah, I'm going to start my shopping in here. And then what's happened is, to me, the news has only gotten more bullish for that round 8, 9, 10 running back. Jordan Mason, I believe, will be the starter if he stays healthy this year at the Vikings. Does he get it right away? I don't know. I believe Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is the clear back to own in Washington with the way the news has gone. Just what they're saying about him to me very clearly sounds like they want him to be their guy there. So I'm not just comfortable with JCM. I love JCM now at this point in the draft. Chuba Hubbard has fallen back to around pick 100, pick 120 in drafts. I will take no Jonathan Brooks, and I'll take Chuba Hubbard a lot if he's going to be back there in that price range. I'm totally comfortable with RJ Harvey. I like much more than Ted on this one. I like Gainwell and White a lot. I'm totally happy with one of them as my RB4 there. So yeah, to me the draft has a very clear shape where like if I'm avoiding running back, it is the mid round 5 to early round 8 running back that I'm avoiding. And I'm very happy to do so. I'm going to lose no sleep over losing that tier of guys.
Well, we were talking about this a little earlier before DFS guy. He did say something else. Let's see, Jamar Chase, Monty, or Bijan and Godwin.
Well, Bijan and Godwin.
No, who are they playing? I think that's important.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the uncertainty with Egbuka, I would say that unless the schedule is crazy,
Yep.
it's probably who I would lean. Let's see, week 1. Chase has the Bucks. Oh my God, please play that. And Monty has
The Bills.
the Bills. I think that's a great matchup versus Bijan against the Steelers. And then Godwin has the Bengals. I'd still go Chase and Monty.
Probably Chase and Monty. It's very close. I think I lean Bijan Godwin there a little bit. Especially, I mean, what you have to watch out for is Igbuka playing week 1 or not? If Igbuka's
Yeah,
not
if
playing week
Igbuka,
1,
if Igbuka doesn't play, then I think Godwin is just the one there, at least until he gets back. I'd rip him. I worry about that Pittsburgh Steelers matchup for Bijan. Like, it's not that the Steelers are world beaters anymore, but they still got a pretty nice D line.
Yeah, I actually think think Theodore's right on that one. I would go Chase Monty or yeah, Chase Monty. Um,
Well, yeah. So what I was saying that. Oh yeah, do your pick first.
well, I really need another running back here, but I have three of them. We'll do a Jackson Dart and stack them with neighbors. Quarterback can get kind of sketchy here when there's a run, and I don't know if Love is going to be available on the back. So we'll do a Dart neighbors. Not a pick I make a lot. I'm a little bit nervous about the Giants' offensive environment, but that's okay. Hopefully Love comes back to us. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. So Theo Greminger today was kind of victory lapping Jadarian Price, how he has the role locked up because they're like basically putting him on ice
Yep.
for the rest of the offseason. He's kind of saying that Jadarian Price's role is locked in. That's a guy that you want to draft. So I guess it doesn't change the Charbonnet thing for you at all.
No.
Then, right, you still wouldn't be drafting him. Like, I feel like if Jadarian Price, and he's probably not going to, fell into the Trevion Henderson area, I would take a look at him. I would still probably take Trevion first, but I think he's interesting there, like mid to late sixth round.
Yeah, so thematic to what we've been discussing right the whole time. It's just about what your build is. Like, so if I have a hero roster, I think you should be taking shots that like one of those guys in the 6-7 hits big because they could all hit big, right? Ramondre could retain the lead role in New England, in which case Ramondre profiles as like a mid-range RB2, and you're getting him in the 7th round. Pollard could retain his big role with Tennessee. Although Pollard, I'm not drafting ever, but there's a world where he does it, and he has been a nearly top running back for a period of time, or at least a top 24 back. And then Jadarian Price could get the 3-down role, and then he's a top 15 running back, and it puts your roster totally over the top. It just depends what your build is and what you're there. For me, again, because I typically have 2 running backs in tow out of round 5, I'm not that worried about picking at this range. I just sort of let it go. But yeah, I think if you're a hero or zero roster, you should be taking bets like that and hope they break your way, right? And try to position yourself so that when they do break your way, because if you find a top 20 back in that range and maybe you start off 0 running back, so you have like 4 incredible receivers, a great tight end or a great quarterback, and then you're coming in the 6th round and you anchor down with Jadarian Price. That's totally a pick you should be making. It's just about what your build is and what your strategy is. For me, it's just a little different, right? Because of how I approach the early rounds.
Dude, I've still been clicking Hendo if he's there in the 6th round, even if I do have a hero RB build.
Yeah, double hero, you mean? So if you have 2?
Yeah,
If you have 2
yeah.
by round 6, yeah. Yeah, I think that again. I think that's fine for me. I like the receivers there, especially in redraft, because in redraft, like you can get Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr. You can get Mike Evans slides back there sometimes. Romo Dunze, DJ Moore, like those guys. I have a hard time leaving on the table for Jadarian, but I understand. Like I certainly understand why you're doing that, and there are a lot of sharps that are with you on that, or for a Jadarian or a Trevion. Scott Barrett, it's actually very funny. Scott Barrett absolutely hates Trevion. Okay, so we do get the Jordan Love back here. Let's go. That is fun. And they've had 2 high stakes draft, I believe $4,400 of entry fees between him and Theo Greminger. So it's like two $2,200 entries, and both times they've ended up getting Trevion Henderson. He's absolutely crashed out on him. I don't think it's like that bad of a pick. I think he's being a little dramatic, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. It's just not a pick I'm very excited about often. Okay, so this would be cool to get Chuba this late. I will take a Chuba Hubbard share here.
Yeah, like Chuba and Manungai are both, I think, very cheap.
Yep.
Dude, I've been getting Jordan Tyson in the 11th and 12th round of Yahoo mock drafts now.
Yep. Feels like a pick you should be making.
Yeah, man, with that discount, like, I feel like that's very good. Like, if he's 2 months, like, that could be like the first only 4 weeks of the season, technically.
Well, yeah, it's
You could
kind
just
of
miss 4 games right at the beginning.
yeah. Their timing's kind of weird though with that France trip. Like, it seems like it'll be week 8 or 9, but even then, like, you're getting enough of a discount that whatever risk is there is baked in. again, like baked in risk, right? I'm getting Chuba Hubbard in the 10th round and the 11th round. I think you're being silly at that point if just because I came into the year as a Brooks guy, which I did. I think that's a ridiculous. At some point, you have to adjust to what the board's giving you. That's a very comfy click. Like if I came out of a double hero build with Krosky, Merritt, and Hubbard and redraft, I would feel great as my backup running backs there.
Oh yeah, man. I think we are live for Chuba Hubbard league winner season again.
Yeah, if it, yeah, it could be, dude. Also, like I want to see Brooks look a little better. Like Brooks has not
Yeah,
looked good.
he hasn't looked very good.
He is
Yeah.
not. He is again, even as a Brooks guy. Like, and I'm gonna have egg on my face if that goes south. Like, because that was someone who I was. My take on it was that he would look like a better player if fully healthy than Chuba Hubbard. Now, maybe the ACL took out his explosiveness, and you could say, well, he's not fully healthy. I think that's kind of a cop out, right? Because we knew he had the multiple ACLs. So we're saying would fully healthy as things currently stand. And to me, he did not look. He has not looked like he can have any burst through the hole yet. He had like a nice little hurdle sort of at the end of a play. He had a couple decent looking jump cuts, but he does not look like agile to me, and certainly not explosive. I'm waiting to see something out of him a little bit on that. But it is not just totally within the range of outcomes. It is a fairly likely outcome that if he does not do something, if he doesn't look like a special athlete, because that's kind of what we were banking on, Chuba's probably a better pass blocker than him. He's probably a better short yardage back than him because he's been in the league for years and been doing it for years. And maybe he's not, an explosive athlete necessarily, but if Jonathan Brooks doesn't look significantly better than him, he's not going to carve out the role that the fantasy community is betting on. And his price is only going up. He's approaching a 6th round pick now, like almost a 5th round pick in some high stakes stuff.
Yep. It was so funny, man. John Daigle from Establish the
I
Run. I
love
think.
Daigle. I love Daigle. Okay, if you're gonna trash Daigle, I'm gonna be upset. That guy's hilarious, dude. Okay,
No,
what?
I was giving Daigle a hard time because he retweeted
Oh,
that like 1 yard rushing touchdown or whatever
oh no.
that Brooks had, and I just tongue in cheek I go like, well, Chuba Hubbard's resting. I don't mind the RB2 getting some work in the preseason.
No.
And Daigle goes, well, the thing about Chuba is he's always resting. And I just screenshotted the season where Chuba went for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, and Brooks had like 3 carries for 9 yards. And then someone goes under that and they go, Brooks and Chuba have never played together, idiot. And then, no, they definitely have.
Oh no. Don't be that guy. Don't be the hey idiot guy. Like hey, like you know what I mean? You don't it's not a good look. I don't really
Dude, I
go.
do like some Tyler Algier.
Okay, I never really take him, but sure, he's a split back on a garbage offense. But you said it, we'll do it. Okay, that is a running.
Walmart Monty.
Yeah, that
Walmart Monty.
that is a running back heavy build. I probably should have thought that through. That's okay. We're going Tyler Algier. Um, maybe a little bit because I might go 3 tight end with Jordan Love and Jackson Dart. So maybe we can set up a Mendoza with Trey Tucker. I kind of like Trey Tucker for some spike weeks this year anyway. That's what we'll do. Yeah. See who comes around there with where's Mendoza going late 186. Our next pick will be at like 167, 170. Yeah, maybe we can get a tight end and a Mendoza on the next come around.
Hayden says he has Mike Washington at the 5-6 turn.
Uh, yeah, like that's I would let that go if that is what the market's going to price him at.
Hayden has always been a Mike Washington guy, though. Pre-draft, he said that Mike Washington was the second RB on his board. He liked him more than Jadarian Price. He liked him more than Kalen Black. That's one of Hayden's guys.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where do you think he'll end up going? Like if they traded for Sean Tucker, where do you think where do you think Mike Washington should go?
If they traded for
Sh-
Sean Tucker,
Sean
I
Tucker.
would I would take Washington in like that 8th round.
Yeah.
Right, like around the Corums, around the Menungas, around the RJ Harveys, where it's like, it's probably a split here, but I'm gonna make the bet on the athlete at this point. Like, where do you go here? 10th round, that's
It's about right.
reasonable.
That's
Yeah.
about right. I don't know. I don't think there's a chance in hell that they do not add one of those. There's too many running backs that are sitting there with like no job defined in their offense right now. I don't think there's any way that they're not adding someone before the season.
Well, not only that, but like, what happens when Mike Washington goes down
Yeah,
for them?
dude. They
Like,
have.
you
Yeah.
need to add someone. Like, I think it could be a James Conner spot.
Yep.
I think if James Conner goes there, it's far more bullish for Mike Washington. So I think
Yes.
James Conner is going to be,
Yes, I
you
would
know,
feel great. I would be excited about that because I think it would knock Mike Washington's price down, but for no reason. You know, that would be
James
exciting.
Conner is okay. James Conner's okay.
Mm, yeah, at a point in his career, he
But
certainly was.
he's old, and I don't think he's any more than the B side of the backfield.
No, no. Didn't really stack this roster up too much. I mean, I guess we have Dart and Neighbors. No, and Kraft and Jacobs, which I don't even know if that's really a stack. It's a correlation technically. Um,
Kraft, yes. Jacobs, I don't know. I don't know how much receiving work Josh Jacobs is going to be
well,
getting.
yeah, it's not a stack. It's a correlation though, right? Because you're getting like when Love doesn't pass for a touchdown, it's likely that Jacobs runs for one. But that's some people interpret that as good. Some people interpret that as bad. Like I've seen some of the high stakes guys go, well, that's a good thing because if my quarterback has a bad game because my running back ran in 3 touchdowns, I still get the touchdown equity there. But I don't know. Okay, so actually, we got wildly cool Ferguson news. We wanted a tight end into Mendoza here anyway. Man, they are saying that he is working in the F, the Z, the slot. He's being moved all over the formation. Now, this is the beat. This is not the team, but they are saying that he's taking reps out of slot receiver, that he's working at every single receiver position currently in the Rams. He's staying on the field for 12 and 13 personnel. We are rapidly approaching the point with Terrence Ferguson where I'm going to be comfortable going into the year with a naked T-Ferg. A naked T-Ferg. Like I'm gonna show up with Terrence Ferguson. I'm gonna go. This is my guy, and me and him are gonna do our thing that year, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm telling you right
That
now,
is risky business. That's
risky
pretty
business,
good.
risky business. Like I'm gonna be out there week one starting 80% Terrence Ferguson, just punting him to the last round and seeing what I can do. Maybe you like be a little smart and go like Kenyon Sadiq, Terrence Ferguson. So like maybe something happens there. Or maybe you go like Jawan Johnson, Terrence Ferguson would be perfect. Like someone you don't feel bad about dropping, Dallas Goedert, Terrence Ferguson. But I don't know, dude. If you somehow end up with the wide receiver 3 for the Rams as your starting tight end in leagues and you got him in around 13, 14, Terrence Ferguson's going to go nuts.
DFS guy asked, "Do you like any of the Miami receivers?"
I've been a Malik Washington guy all summer. That's who I've been drafting a lot of.
You know, do I like any of them?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
If I had to draft one though, Caleb Douglas I think has looked pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yep. I think I do actually have Caleb Douglas highest in my rankings currently. But the one that I sort of placed my early bets on was Malik Washington, just thinking like scramble drill, he's going to be close to the line of scrimmage, plays out of the slot, which seems good for Willis. So, yeah, Malik Washington has been my bet.
Dude, Doobie just said Toby might have been the worst Spider-Man. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah. Dude.
Toby Maguire is Spider-Man, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, no one respects Tobey Maguire as an actor. I love those movies; they're very nostalgic for me. I thought the newest Spider-Man was spectacular. Very very good movie. They're totally setting up the Avengers Doomsday, which I know you're not into the Marvel movies, dude, but like I love the initial Marvel thing, and I haven't been able to watch it for the last few years. It's been really bad. Seems like they're coming around though. I'm pretty excited for it.
Dude, what I can't respect about Marvel at this point in time is they had the balls to kill off Iron Man. They had
Yeah.
the balls to kill off Tony Stark, but they didn't have the balls to get Robert Downey Jr. off the payroll. I think that's weak.
Okay. Yes, except for one thing. They're doing the multiverse thing, right? For the that's setting up the new Avengers. It's going to be Doctor Doom protecting the multiverse because the Avengers have like killed some people in it. They've made some mistakes, right? So that's going to be the whole next phase. If they do a thing where it is Tony Stark but in a different multiverse and he turned out to be Doctor Doom and that's why they used him twice, totally acceptable with me. But yes, if they don't say anything, if they just reintroduce Robert Downey Jr. as Doom and they don't say anything, yeah, that's a terrible move. It's a terrible move unless it is directly a plot mechanism from a multiverse thing. Yeah.
How old do you think Doobie is if he thinks that Toby's the worst Spider-Man? Is he
I
like
I don't know,
20
dude.
years old, maybe?
I don't know. All I know is that dude's a diamond level manager and I'm not, and he took a chip off me. Doobie is like my mortal enemy in fantasy until future notice.
I feel like the Zoomers don't get. The Zoomers don't understand. Maybe I'm just the old man yelling at clouds at this point, but I thought the Garfield Spider-Mans were trash. I don't really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Oh no, Tom Holland's good, dude. No one likes Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland. He's good. Um, he did a great job. I thought in this. I thought in this one he was good. I know people think he's not a good actor. Okay, we're doing Pat Bryant again there. Good value there. I need a wide receiver here.
Where did Genty go? I'm seeing Genty is off the board, so someone must have taken him. Make a pick first, but
2-3 turn with Bijan.
hell yeah, dude. Just no fear in this dojo.
I don't know, dude. If you're lucky enough to get the 2-3 turn, because I have not gotten a lot of those this year, I'm not throwing up the the Genty Bijan there.
Just donating $25.
Yeah, or
Or however
$3,
much.
$3. But yeah, you are donating it. Yeah.
I mean, Miami receivers, Caleb Douglas is right there.
Yeah, I was actually going to put him in the queue. He goes there, so it doesn't matter. And I'm looking at like Johnson for a running back. That's kind of one of the last like running backs I really like. But you know how big I am on Barner, and I do have Kraft and Ferguson. I could just cut it at Kraft and Ferguson, but I think Barner like profiles more nicely as a scorer, even like as a flex eligible scorer than a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I would be drafting 3 tight ends with your build.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There he goes.
Oh God, okay. Damn, I totally would have taken him there. Okay, so we will swing back around and see if we can do the same thing. The Waller Kolar. I mean I will take Johnson if he's there. I don't. I am. Let's just say I am skeptical. I am skeptical of Kenneth Walker's ability to stay healthy for a year. I don't think the Seahawks putting him on bubble wrap to ensure he makes it to the playoffs fundamentally changed the risk profile with his health situation. That is a player that has a very hard time staying upright when he gets a workload. I don't believe he's cleared 200 fantasy points since 2022 or 2023.
Trying to see if we have any Kate Otten news.
I know
See if
it
we can
kills
get
me.
more definitive answers.
It kills me. Well, I can ask my little injury bot, see if it comes up with anything.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to the waivers in a league. Ooh, Yahoo changed the way waivers look. Don't know if I like that.
I know I hate any change to anything the way it looks. I'm always so happy when it's not like that.
All right. So last update we have is Tuesday, August 8th, sitting with undisclosed injury. So thanks a lot, Todd Bowles. Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah.
You can't just tell us what the injury is? Nope.
Hmm. He hasn't been placed on IR. Okay. That sucks, man, because that's a pick that's very comfy for me back here. Did that guy go zero tight end? He did, so he's just cobbling together. Okonkwo, Dulcich, Helm, and Kate on. That's kind of balling. That's kind of good, man, for this late. He didn't really do anything else with his draft. That's pretty bad all around besides that, but I don't know, actually. Barkley, Love, Irving. Got a good price on Irving. Got a great price on Mike Evans. Waddle. Actually, no, I spoke too soon. I like his draft for the most part. I don't like this part of it, but I like the rest of it.
There goes Najee Harris. The guy's excited.
If you think Tyron Tracy is doghoused or traded, you probably should be drafting some Najee Harris, as crazy as that is.
There would be 3 yards to
Yeah,
gain.
yeah, the one-eyed dude. Oh my god, man. Fireworks accident. The
He
guy
went
got
from
enough.
fireworks to tearing his Achilles.
Oh,
True combo.
no. Well. Probably Fryermuth is like a safer bet than Darren. Oh wait. I have Bryce Young. I grabbed Bryce Young on the cheap. Okay, so that will certainly be a Darren Waller pick there.
Cornering the Darren Waller market.
Yeah, man. Hey, for a tight end three, where you have Kraft and these two are just boom or bust, Ferguson Waller, and Waller's stacked up, I'm fine with that. I do need another receiver here. This receiver room's
Jeremy
pretty.
Bernard is available.
Yeah, this receiver room's pretty. Yeah, pretty light, but I did start off. No, there I think I want to do not Calvin Austin. Where is Mooney? Mooney with Dart. I still think Mooney is like a
I think
pretty good receiver.
Jeremy Bernard being a lolcow on the channel is not fair to him. It's
I
not fair to Jeremy Bernard
I'll
in
be
any way, shape, or form.
I'll be totally honest with you, dude. You know my thing about like my process with rookies. There's the ones that I'm interested in that I'll put in an hour or two or three or four sometimes, like grinding out tape on. I had no interest whatsoever for fantasy in Bernard, so I just haven't even. I couldn't even tell you what he looks like on the field. I can't tell you what he does. Is he? I assume he's a slot receiver.
Slot guy, yep.
Yeah, it's just not my thing.
What about some Epton Chisholm?
I don't like his name. Okay. Mooney stack with Dart. So we have a Mooney neighbors. So there's Bryce Young. I have Jordan Love. You could go weird with a Savion Williams for the last pick. You could go with a Xavier Legette and Bryce Young if I really want to steer into that.
Yeah, I would try not to steer into the Panthers if you can.
Yeah, I mean it's just because he like had a period last year where I think he had like 2 or 3 spike weeks, but I don't know like how consistently useful he's gonna be.
I think that your Darren Waller correlation is enough.
That's enough.
Young.
That's enough. Just call. Well, yeah. See, it does need to be a receiver though with this build, so I've got to figure out something. Efton Chisholm. Okay, we'll put. You know what? We'll do if Bernard makes it back 20 picks or whatever. We will do a Bernard. I guess Xavier Hutchinson needs to be on the radar. Troy Franklin. Odell Beckham. Should we do an Odell Beckham stack? Sky Moore is kind of interesting. Sky Moore.
Christian Kirk.
Sky Moore with Love.
Apparently, he's on the roster bubble.
Yep.
I think that Christian Kirk should be on the roster. I think the Niners are making a mistake if you went out and signed him in free agency and then just let him walk.
All right, let's check what that. Let's check what that set is valued at that I have up at 600. Let's see what it's selling for as a complete set, and then I have the $75 promo in there. So 504 plus a $70 promo, 580 current market price. I am asking 600. That is so reasonable, Mr. 485 offer. I'm asking $20 under market when I'm taking a 15% hit on the sale. Get out of here, dude. All right, I hate to tell you there, Ted. This may be a Xavier Legette pick, my guy. Brutal, but I think like does he catch 30 passes this year? Do you think he can get up to 30 passes from Bryce Young?
I don't know if he catches more passes than he eats raccoons, but you could try it.
He's not going to eat 31 raccoons this year. There's no way he eats 31 raccoons.
He loves eating raccoons, dude.
Oh, dude, they're so cute. They're so cute. How do you do that?
Yeah, no, that was his thing. Like, he did a locker room interview where he was talking about how he eats raccoons. He's country.
Kyle Williams is interesting.
That might be unfair to, like, country music people that watch the channel if I kind of implied that they eat raccoons. I don't assume that you all eat raccoons.
Yeah, they're too cute, man. I went raccoon hunting for fun one time. It's like not a great experience to kill one of them. I also just like we're gonna do Xavier Legette. We're gonna do Xavier Legette because it is a stack. It is technically Bryce's wide receiver, his X receiver. Okay, so this is the roster. This is going to wrap it up for today. Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Rashi Rice, Jacobs, Washington, Warren, Kraft, Krosky, Barrett, Dart, Love, Hubbard, Algier, Tucker, Ferguson, Young, Bryant, Johnson, Waller, Mooney, Leggett. Couple late Bryce Young stacks. I don't mind. I don't mind a little stack. Okay, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thanks for checking us out. If you are so inclined, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll see when we go live. We are going to have all 15 and hopefully up to 20, depending on how long it takes these last 15 to fill. There's like a few spots that just will not fill, and I'm not going to open up more leagues until I know the ones we have are secured. But we're going to have like little 2-hour drafts on Yahoo probably for the next 2 weekends straight, all weekend. So it should be interesting. If you want to see exactly how we're drafting and redraft after a summer spent pontificating about it, you guys will get to see that live and in person. Ted, anything to leave the YouTube world with before we go?
Yeah, if you do think we're worthy of a sub, there's going to be a little bell next to the subscribe button. If you click that, you'll get the notifications whenever we go live. And yeah, our drafts start next week. I believe League 7 drafts on the 30th, so
Mm-hmm.
exactly 7 days from today. It'll be like a streamathon. Yanni's going to be hopefully not in his dad's work office when he's streaming them, so he can be loud and react to the
Yeah.
drafts.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys. Thank you, and we